Oh,
Oh,
nice.
shit.
There we go.
Oh, I got it.
That's it. All right, so you got it. That's awesome. Yeah, like I was saying, dude. I'm in St. Pete. So yesterday, after we started this, um, it was that's why the time frame is perfect. Because I had to come out. I had to drive up here. So I picked up my assistant 7 a.m. and drove out here and uh, finished working kind of early, I guess, regular time, about 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Came to the hotel and I just crashed.
Nice.
Just straight trashed. So no morning coffee yet. Definitely will drink some water.
Nice. I forgot to set an alarm this morning. So, like,
Oh yeah?
yeah. And, like, I just
I
opened
didn't
my
think you did
eyes
that.
and I was like, what's that sound? I was like, oh, yeah. I set the coffee. Wait, no alarm went off. I was like, all right. So I guess I decided to make my coffee last night, like some plans ahead. But, well, good morning.
No.
Um,
Good.
I,
All
wa- I
right.
was
Good morning.
I was working yesterday, and what I was wondering what made you make the phone call where you decided to reach out and start this.
To you,
Yeah.
it's real simple. Honestly, because from everybody that all right, out of the people that I know, the people that I've met, the people that there's very few that are driven. Everybody's driven by something, but I'm talking about driven for success. I'm talking about getting the fucking. It's like, hey, I have a decent life, but this isn't. It's okay, but I need to go further. I gotta go. I gotta do something else. Um, when I met you, through Mike and through that other association that we met, we I don't know. You're smart. Uh, I just like the way you fucking articulate, dude. Like, you know what I mean? I like your attitude. You're somebody that I really want to get to know. I want to be a friend. You know what I mean? Um, I figure that I've seen what you're doing with your channel, you know, and dude, you're rock solid. I don't understand why your numbers aren't there. You know what I mean? It's, it's like you're doing everything right. It's like, what the fuck? You know,
Mhm.
the I don't know, dude. But I'm telling you, you're doing right things, and I want to associate myself with you. It's one thing to say, "Hey, I have an acquaintance." I know Mike a lot. Daniel a lot. Sorry. As an acquaintance, but fucking, I want to get to know him. You know what I mean? I really do. I really do. I really do. I really do feel that your your intentions are good, and I figure that if we fucking communicate, like here's an example. I can only grow so much as an aircraft mechanic. I don't know. Voice is there. I can only, and as a regular aircraft mechanic, dude, the money is, it's okay. If you work in a hangar, you're very limited. You have a regular 9 to 5, in other words. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I found in you where I didn't have to have that 9 to 5, and it gave me a lot more flexibility and freedom. But and the money is great, but the personal time drops down. So it's
Right.
either A, I have personal time, or B, I'm working. So, and when I'm working, I'm making it's night and day difference, between regular hangar work and what I do now.
Hmm.
Here is pretty much I write my own check. I wake up in the morning and I got a blank check. How much money do I want to make today? You know, um, just it's not an exaggeration. It's just how bad do I really want it? So with that being said, I'm tied. So oh no, you can own a business and hire mechanics. Great, I've done that. I've actually I partnered up people. We built a fucking really successful business, and then I noticed I don't want it, and I left it. I fucking left it.
Mm.
I have a participation. I left, and they're growing. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be able to. It's one thing to fix airplanes. It's one thing to work on like really cool shit, but it's somebody else's cool shit, dude.
Right.
You know, it's not mine. Even though I don't work on my own fucking vehicles, I can say I own that van. It's paid off, all that shit. And it's okay. All right. And I want to continue growing, and that's it. And then that's why I said I studied personal development for me to find out who the fuck I am, to find out, and then I found out that I'm more fucked up than I ever thought I was. Um, then I said, okay, so if I'm fucked up, if I fucked up, I got to fix myself first before I could fix anything else outside. Before I could fix my marriage, before I could fix my relationship with my kids, I got to fix myself first because, hey, I'm the common denominator in all of my problems, right? So once I did that, I said, okay, and I'm still working on that. I said, okay, cool. So now I got to find a way to make money because I can't continue doing this. I'm tired. Yes, I'm getting older, but I should be getting, I don't want to get tired. I'm tired of not being, of, look at this. I'm in a fucking hotel today. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I'll be here for another, I told my wife Sunday, maybe 3, 4 days, but probably a week, Wednesday, Thursday,
Mm.
if I'm lucky, maybe Monday, Tuesday. It depends on how fast I can get it done and go. So that's why I wanted to start this podcast because I actually feel that my followings, like for example, I checked this morning. It was like I've actually dropped. I had about 27,000 followers on TikTok. My subscribers on YouTube are actually growing by 100 a month. Well, last month it grew by 105. So now I'm thinking, okay, cool. So if I can just start talking to these people that follow me, which is pretty much the same fuckers that want to follow you, you know what I mean? Introduce you. Listen, I'm telling you, because um, we need, we all need a mentor. We all need a role model. And what kind of role models are people out there right now? People are out for themselves. We all need to follow somebody. Like I'm at where I am at by having different role models, and I'm sure you understand that. You have different mentors and different things. Right now, I am looking for my next mentor. I'm
Mm.
looking for my next coach. As a matter of fact, I said, "Hey, this is part of why I talked to you." I was like, "You know what? Okay, so how can I help Daniel, and how can he help me?" Well, I think you said it yesterday, right? It's like, fuck, I'm really cool. I'm really good at finding a problem. I fix it, solving a problem. Um, I need more of the. I need more. I need help with that commitment, with that daily commitment. I've seen you do fucking what, 2 75-day hards back to back or 3?
Yeah, no, I did I did the 75 hard and then went through the full live hard program. And then I took a quick break and then I went back through it again. And that was, that, well, I had something that I wanted to fix. And, you know, because being disciplined is one thing where, you feel like you have, like, I felt like I had a very strong basis in, like, going to the gym. Like, because I failed, matter of fact, the first time I failed 75 hard, I was in St. Pete. Um, yeah, that's pretty funny. I had went up there to speak at the Towers Association back when I was still a tow truck driver, and when I was just getting into sales, and I was trying to get them to get coverage for their guys, and I had the Logan, great guy, the mentor.
Yeah.
Um, he had met me up there to speak with me, And then my buddy had came down from Tampa that I went to high school with, and they were like, "Oh, this is important when you're choosing people around you." They're like, "Oh, so you're not drinking?" I was like, "Okay, well that ends the day," and they ended up like I was like chilling, and they just like started putting shots in front of me. And there's
Oh
like
my
somebody that
god.
has this, like I love to drink. I'm not gonna lie, like I love to drink, but
Yeah.
well, I say that we say words are important. I like to because if you love something, you're willing to die for it, and I'm not gonna die for alcohol, so that's important. But so that was the first time I felt 75 hard, and you know when there's that saying that you say you either change the people around you or you change people around you. Like now I've got it to where they would never do that because of they saw the effect of that failure, and it took me. I worked out every day for a year before I went back to try again because I wanted to make sure that I developed the discipline to be able to say yes or no and go through that progress. So that's why when people were like, I missed today, I'm like, why? I'm like, oh well, I had X. I was like, dude, there's 24 hours a day. And so like I made sure, and that's when I had really started that early morning commitment was back in 2017, where I would start getting up at 3:30 in the morning and go to the gym because it was non-negotiable. I would literally stand at the end of my bed and like talk crap to myself. My wife would hear me. She'd be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. Like, I, I,
You know what?
I
You
gotta
know,
go." But I would sit there like and call myself a pussy because I would like want to hit the snooze button. Oh, like audibly, I'm like, "You little pussy," and like it's just mumbling, and I would stand there, and then I was like, "All right," and I go, and then after that, I go work my 12-hour day. I still driving a record, and then I go run appointments at night and sell insurance. So but that's how that whole 75 hard thing started. And then, it was so important that I fixed that part of me to be able to say no to certain things that were in my life that I was allowing to have control. And so, like, look, 75 hard is a very big rabbit hole because it occupied such a big period of my life because like I had already been into the personal development. I'd been into the books. Like I was working on the mentality for so long that I felt like I had developed the ironclad mentality, but I just had this thing that I needed to tweak a little bit, and it was my relationship with alcohol. And once I tweaked that, like that's when I don't think you weren't with us in Orlando. Like everybody's drinking.
I, w- I went to Orlando once with you guys, but I don't think I had 2 beers, 3 beers,
You might have been
because
there.
I went to Orlando with you guys once. This is when we stayed in that fucking
That mansion.
yeah, in that game room at mansion
Well,
shit
yeah.
like that.
So you were there,
Yeah.
and that's when Anthony was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Because like I would everybody be drinking beers, and I'm like, "All right, I'm out." Have the vest on, go for a run. And he was like,
I
"Okay."
remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
And then that's what actually made him take on the program, and
Yes.
he tweaked a lot of things in his life as well.
Yes. I gave him my 75-day hard book. I haven't done it fully. I've never completed a 75 days. I've done 30, 20, a lot of 15s, you know? And what gets me is the the gym, the double, the twice a day. What gets me is twice a day, which is because here's something else. And I like what you're saying is it's the the schedules. You and I have pretty much around the same type of schedules. I guess you could say it that way. We don't have a schedule. We just get a phone call saying you want it, you know. So you don't know, and it's happened to me. I've many times I start something, and then I'll get that phone call, and then I'll wait it out. Shit. hey, I can make a quick $2,000, I can make a quick $500, or I can make whatever it is, versus I can still eat shit for the next half hour and fuck it, I'm gonna go make money. You know? You know what I mean? Or you start, you know, I know many times I've started and then I won't finish it. And I was like, fuck. You know, it's like, okay, I'll start the workout, I'll get ready for the workout, or I'll do something. And I think that's my hardest one. And to be honest with you, it's got nothing to do with the gym. I actually found while you were searching for you, I also found I was searching for me. My awakening was a little bit different than that one, as far as myself awake, self aware. I guess you could say it that way. You know what I mean? Most people say they are self aware of each other, but I was not. I I was not. I know I'm me, but my ego was so fucking big at one point that it overshined everything else, and it wasn't cool.
Mm.
So with that being said, my there's one thing that and that's commitment. Commitment to me, I don't think I've committed to anything in my fucking life
Mm.
except now. Except now. And I'm there, and it took me, and I think that's fuck, dude. I think it took me 3 years to say that, and that's 3 years of me trying to fix me. Because my commitment, because dude, I didn't have a commitment to myself. I didn't have a commitment to my house. I didn't have a commitment to anything. I don't have and it's the truth, and I would use my reasoning behind it. Like, for example, jobs. It doesn't fucking matter if you stay at a job or not. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I found out a long time ago that I'm going to go work at some place, not because I need a job, but I need to go learn something. I got to go figure something out. There's something that they know how to do, so I'm going to go work for them so I can learn it. You know,
Mm.
that's the way I look at jobs. And I've always looked at jobs that way. I've actually had jobs that pay me zero money, and I have full responsibility, and it's, you know, and I'm thinking, fuck, I should be getting paid for this, but I'm learning, so it doesn't matter, you know.
Right.
So with that, that's my as far as money is concerned, um I never worried about it, but my main concern always has been commitments to a job. I don't have a commitment to a job, so so now I need to focus on learning on how to commit to an income, right? Everybody talks about different things as far as incomes are concerned, but my thing is, before, when I was in the rat trap, I was always focused on I can't leave. You know, everybody's fear of, oh, I don't want to get fired. Where's my next meal coming from? What's this? And then that's you start realizing that this isn't for me. This isn't for me. So I could never stay at a job. I could never stay at a job. I could never stay. Once and I start learning whatever it is I need to learn, and then I just fucking leave. I can't commit to another workplace. One time I found a place that I actually loved, and I felt like home. And I'm like, wow, these people really care, and this is great, dude. That place shoved not their finger up my ass, their whole fucking fist. I mean, I got fucked so hard. Oh my god, dude. You know. And then at the same time, the I had built a relationship with the owners and the vice presidents and this and that. I'm like, hey, what the fuck happened? Yeah, we decided that we don't need you anymore. So you did all of this just to get rid of me? I thought we were building this. Yeah, we decided against it.
No.
Okay. It was one, yeah, dude, it was horrible. It was bad, right? And I'm not even going to go get into that one on video. It's not even worth the time. But that's when I decided I will never, ever. Oh, they sued me too. They tried suing me for uh non compete.
Hmm.
but
You
but you
fired me.
fired me. You fired me. So now I'm gonna go do what I know what to do. But now
Hmm.
you want to, yeah, go fuck
Yeah, because you learned what you needed to learn. Yeah, yeah.
yourself. Oh my god. But anyway, it was nothing ever happened. There was no lawsuit, whatever. But that's when the only thing was commitments. I have never really committed. In the Air Force, if it's not obligatory, is that the word? Is that the right word? Obligatory?
Believe so.
But you know what I mean. If it's not that, if it's not an obligation and I have a choice, I probably won't do it.
Mhm.
So that's why commitment to me is if I don't want to do it, I won't do it. So if I'm telling myself now that I'm waking up at five, at 4:30 and I'm preparing and I want to start this conversation at 5 a.m., and it doesn't fucking matter where it is, right? It doesn't matter. And that I started doing something similar to this when my kids were in high school. I actually went back to college and I would wake up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning and I would take college classes. Not because I need a basket weaving degree, you know, not because I'm fucking whatever. I just wanted to show them that it doesn't fucking matter that you have enough time in the day. So I would study college fucking classes, getting college credits from 3 a.m. to fucking about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning for about those 4 or 5 hours, Monday through Friday,
Hmm.
every day, right? And they would see that, and they saw that for a couple of years, you know, kept doing that until finally I said, "What am I doing? I don't need to keep doing this," and I just gave it up, you know. And then my wife's like, "You were doing so well,"
Hmm.
and I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't need a degree." She goes, "You were doing so well." I said, "I don't need a degree. Why do I want? Why do I want?" See, once again, isn't that part of commitment? I have the option. I have the money. I have a degree pretty much paid for it, but I don't want. I just don't need it. So I don't
Yeah.
understand. You know,
I
it's
mean
not
that
important to me.
you have the commitment though. That's not the issue, but you just decided not to see it through to the end, which was uh, very interesting. And like, yeah, I've been doing this for years, was what you said, and then you're just like, yeah, why am I doing this? I don't need to agree. Well, there's one of the things like you finish what you start, especially when you have the ability to do so. And you know, it's one thing when you have something catastrophic happen, or you get injured, you sick, like we run out of money. None of those things were even an issue. You just made a simple choice, and well, I don't know. I'm a little bit different when it comes to stuff like that, um, because and like I'm very careful about what I say I'll do now. When I like somebody asks me if I'll do something, like I'll seriously consider it before I say yes because I know if I say yes, then I have to do it because I've been stacking that and building that up for so long that it actually hurts me if I don't do what I say I'm going to do. Like it drives me bonkers. You ever seen the movie The Accountant with Ben
Yes,
Affleck? So you see how he goes like bonkers when they don't let him finish what he starts. So that's the clip that plays in my head all the time. And it's like, I got to finish. It was like just going nuts, like breaking everything around me because my brain's like, I have to complete what I started. Like even when I got my wife to the point now, she's just like, yeah. When people ask her stuff at work, and she's like, yeah, my husband really doesn't like it when we say things and we don't do them. So we're gonna have to get that done, and that's just it's an important part of what I believe character is because when you build that reputation with yourself and you're portraying that out to the world, well, like you're it's kind of all you got. Like at the end of the day, if you take away your money, your assets, everything, and it's just you versus you, your reputation, like that's literally at the core. You're the person that does what you say you're going to do. Like even look at all right, your business with airplane mechanics. Like there's not one step that you would miss. Like you would never like, oh yeah, no, I'm just not going to do that because it's catastrophic. Well, that's your mentality, your ego, and all that wrapped up into one, and you erode that foundation every time. You're just like, yeah, no, I don't feel like doing it. Like, what does that even have to do with anything? Like, I didn't feel like working an extra 4 hours yesterday, but I was just like, oh, well, money's there. Um, and I kind of owe it to my family, so I'm gonna make sure that I do it. I didn't want to stay out there for extra. It was like a 95, 98 degrees in freaking Naples yesterday. Ridiculous.
Dude, I'm in I'm in St. Pete, and uh I was working in a hangar yesterday. Airplanes in a hangar. So I'm in the hangar. Whenever I said hangar work before, I meant like just all you do is you come into the fucking you punch in and you punch out. You know what I mean? I don't
Mm.
do that. I do that. Even though the airplane's in a hangar, I don't mean like that's what I mean by hangar work. Um, so the airplane's in the hangar and I'm inside. And even though we got fans fucking everywhere, and dude, it was horrible. I mean, I'm just standing there and I'm
Yeah,
just drenched head to toe. My dude, my butt crack, my fucking legs, everything. It was beautiful. I looked like I jumped in the pool. It was insane. Because I mean, because you're just standing, you're just there, fucking just like this. You know, I'm underneath the airplane and I'm doing some things, and I'm fucking just oh. um, you said something. I forgot to write it down. Hold
I
on.
said a lot.
No, but you said something that uh resonated incredibly. Build your character. Say, do what you say you're going to do. Start what you finish. Um, my, as a matter of fact, I had two instances this week alone with my daughter. So she graduated high school. She works part time at Barnes, and school's paid for, whatever, blah 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 blah. But she hasn't done anything, so I'm giving her free time, her well deserved, because she's a great student, she's a smart girl. But I'm starting to see a little slacking. Like, oh my god, like the comfortness and fuck it. So um, her uncle calls me and he goes, Nest, Limp Biscuit's playing in West Palm Beach. Let's go. And I'm like, when? He goes, fucking, I think it's like Tuesday. Or it's like, dude, I can't. I was coming to St. Pete on Tuesday.
Mm.
And and then he's like, fuck. I said, and I said, my daughter, I said, hey, you want to go to a fucking Limp Biscuit concert? She's like, sure, why not? I said, oh, cool. So I called him back and I said, hey, Gabby will go. He goes, awesome. So she can pick me up. I said, sure. Well, because he's blind, he doesn't drive,
Okay.
right? And I said, and then he calls me back. He goes, yeah, we're going to go with my dad, with his son. So it's his, my brother-in-law, my nephew, and my daughter. You know, my daughter goes out there and picks him up. So I tell her, I say, okay, you got to be at his house by 5 p.m. And it's going to be in West Palm. You guys are going to be VIP. You got VIP entrance, VIP fucking parking. You guys are straight. She goes, what? I'm driving. I don't want to go anymore.
Mm.
And I'm like, baby, Franco can't drive. She goes, ah, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, when are you going to tell him? Let me think about it. So that was Monday. Tuesday now, guess what's coming? There's a concert coming on Tuesday. Tuesday comes around and I go up to her and I say, hey, you leaving? She goes, I'm not gonna go. I'm like, they're gonna be waiting for you in a couple of hours, and you're just telling me that we're not gonna go. I said, well, that's not cool. And then something else happened. Oh, That was that incident. So she decided not to go, but she said she was going to go. Then the next day or the day after, something like that, there was an incident where they were going to go to some other family members were going to go to and like meet the teacher. I guess school's starting pretty soon. And my daughter goes, "Oh my God, I love that teacher. Can I go?" So she heard the conversation and she told everybody that she wanted to go and see that teacher because it was used to be her teacher, and she's gonna go say hi. They're like, "Oh, yeah, cool." So everybody the next day waits for her, and I'm like, "Where's Gabby?" "Oh, she's still in bed." I said, "What? Gabby, are you not gonna go to meet the teacher?" "Nah." I said to her, I said, "That's twice in 1 week. It looks poor on your character." "Yes, I understand. It doesn't fucking matter. But what does matter is you said you were going to do something and you didn't give it any importance. So now you're not going to do it. And it looks bad on you because everybody else is waiting on you. And because they're waiting on you, it makes you liable. And that's not good." And I walked out. She got up, she got dressed, and she left. But and she had a good day with them, and she was able to help them a lot. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer. I know that sometimes when we need to do things we don't want to do, we have a good, but it's when we break that cycle. So here's one thing that I learned. It doesn't matter until you affect the compound interest of life. So by watching you, by learning my mistakes, I'm noticing that breaking a commitment to yourself, you're breaking how life compound interest, right? It's going to happen regardless. It's how much interest are you going to get paid on it, right? So I think, and I'm noticing that the more commitment you are, the more committed you are, or actually being committed, you actually secure. For example, I have this fucking IRA and it's paying me 15%. And the guy goes, "Cool, can't pull your money out until 6 months, and then we'll give you another 16. Okay, no problem. 3 months in, oh my God, I have an emergency. I need money." It happens to all of us. This is probably the best example that I can use. It happens to all of us. I'm the guy going, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm only going to lose a couple $100 of interest. Fuck it. No, asshole. You're not going to lose a couple $100 of interest." But at that moment, if I pull my money now, or if I pull it 6 months, 4 months from now, I'm only going to lose a couple $100. No, what I lost was a lot more than a couple hundred. But at that moment in time, that money was more important to be used for something else. Once again, here it is. So in life, I'm noticing that every time I fucking say, so that's why I want to commit. That's why I want to call fucking 5, wake up at 4:30 a.m., make these, calls, have somebody accountable that pretty much is in the same, that, what I mean? We can help each other. And that's when you said, "Hey, 2-3 times a week, whatever." I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And then you asked me when you want to start. I was like, "How about doing 100?" Because when I was talking to myself, just like you do, I do the same, right? And I think that's extremely important. I do that also through my meditations. When I'm in a really fucking, when I know I'm zen, like when I know I'm gone, I actually feel like I'm having a full-blown conversation because my mind is talking and I'm talking. And I noticed that and we'll talk about that one later, but I have to bring it. And then those key points, like in my conversation and my meditation, I have it recorded. If you don't believe me, I'll send it to you. I was like, "Yeah, dude, you know what? It just came up. Commitment commitment to doing these every single day